Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest and greatest episode of Game Rivals. I'm one of your hosts, Maximilian X, and as always with me is the lovable, the huggable, the man with the state of play, Sean Templar. How's it going, Sean?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good.
It's been a while.
I am relaxed. It's been a really long while since we've recorded like this. I mean, people have been getting steady episodes. Um, but like I said, like weeks before, went on vacation, really needed it. Was nice to just relax, chill, like not think about anything, not worry about anything, just enjoy life. So that was really nice.
I feel like maybe we should take a page out of, but we're not smokers, but we could take a page out of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk's episodes and just smoke some weed to relax completely. But I'm not a smoker, and I don't think you are as well. So
No,
yeah,
not a smoker.
yeah.
But how have you been?
I've been good. I had a week off, so I was just relaxing, mainly, just hang out with family. I barely played anything because, like, I'm not in the mood for it, and just catching up on a lot of TV shows. I watched the latest season of Stranger Things, which is really good.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up on a lot of stuff. I'm like, "Ugh." My PlayStation is gathering dust, and honestly, I don't care. My Switch OLED is even worse. I haven't turned it on in weeks. I'm like, oh my god, I have an OLED Switch, and I'm literally not using it. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
we'll bring some change to
Yeah.
that.
I'm waiting for Advanced Wars. Like, that's a game I really want to play.
Oh my gosh, why does that not have a date yet?
It's because of the indefinite delay due to the situation that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, just it's okay. It's okay. It's all fictional. Like you don't have to link it to stuff that happens in real
Yeah,
life.
but the last thing there
That's
was
the
like a
beauty of
backlash.
video
So,
games.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are the ones that have to endure it, unfortunately. Which begs the question: does this mean that the game is just sitting there, or are they using this extra time for extra polish?
I would
We
hope
don't
for
know.
extra polish.
I don't think so because I'm pretty sure that Nintendo just pays them like because it's like it was remade by like a third party, Way Forward. They're really good. Um, so yeah, I mean, if Nintendo says like, "Well, this is what we paid you for this period of time of work," then I'm pretty sure that they're just gonna finish the game, just send it to Nintendo, and then be done with it.
Yeah.
Like, unless they need to do like updates or whatever.
Yeah.
So who knows? I hope they do. I hope they like polish the ever living crap out of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, not a lot of. I mean, there's not a lot of news to go to. We're nearing the summer game fest period. No E3 this year.
It's starting next week,
Um,
I think, on Thursday.
well, technically, it started actually with the state of play.
Yeah, but like the opening night live
Yeah,
stuff is, I think, next week.
yeah, that's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this week as you're listening to
Yeah.
this recording,
The
it
day
has already
after this
started.
episode goes live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's exciting times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's probably going to be announced because Microsoft has their big Microsoft Bethesda thing. Um, there's going to be the indie showcase that they always
The
do.
Gorilla
There's going to be
Collective
the
thingy, whatever that is.
yeah, the gorilla. That's also another indie thing.
Yep.
There's going to be the hang on. I should have actually probably popped that up while there's the what is it? Like okay, so Nintendo's not part of this, so I'm not 100% sure what they're going to be doing. They still haven't announced like a direct, which is super weird because usually they tend to do that. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to be doing that. There's the gosh darn schedule. There's the oh yeah, the Geeked Weekend from Netflix. Like, okay,
They have to,
it's
because
just super
Netflix is
weird.
losing subscribers, so they have to
Well,
diversify.
Netflix has started doing like mobile
I
games,
know.
which is like, who the heck cares? Um, the Tribeca Game Spotlight. So that's like Spotlight for video games, but in Tribeca. Um,
That's in New
yeah,
York.
that's in New York. And then the actual Summer Game Fest presentation is on June 9th.
Yep.
So yeah, lots to see, lots to talk about. But like I already said, Sony already kind of kicked it off with their state of play, kind of like a soft launch.
Yeah.
Um, and there was a lot. I mean, it was focused on third party and PlayStation VR, and well, they delivered
Yeah.
on both because they it started off with RE4 remake.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, RE4 is the first RE game that I ever played. So for
Same.
me, this was like yes.
Yes, I had the
And then it's
same.
like it's coming to PlayStation 5 and like
Also to
might have to
PS4,
start
right?
might have no
Are you
no.
sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at the PlayStation blog right now. It just says PlayStation 5 next
Oh, okay. I thought it was also coming to PS4. That's a bummer.
year. Yeah, that would have been nice. So, time for me to save up to buy a PlayStation 5 and then hope that PlayStation 5s are plentiful by then.
I just read that they've passed the 20 million mark on sold PS5s, and that they expect
Well,
to crank up even more supply this year. So
that is admirable. All things considered, really, that's actually really admirable because
I'll give you a
it's
side.
been it's been pretty it's been pretty bad.
I know that for a friend of mine messaged me the other day, and he said it's been 3 hours since the Xbox Series X has been on sale on Bol.com, and it's still not sold out. So it's been like,
Seriously?
and now it's sold out. But that day,
Ah, for fudge sake.
for that, like you were gonna buy one.
Well, I've been contemplating on getting a Series S to be honest.
Yeah, but not an X. But
No, not an X.
he
Absolutely
said
not.
like, oh, it's been 3 hours and it's still not sold out. And I'm like, well, that basically
Well,
tells
duh.
the demand. Like, I don't want to start something here. I'm not saying it in a way to poke, but I'm like, I told him like honestly, because he has both. I said like, that's probably because the PlayStation 5 is just more popular at this point, and people just want a PS5. I mean, if the Series X stays in stock for 3 hours, or at least at that point it was 3 hours, I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, that just says something about the popularity of that thing, you know? And maybe that's in the Netherlands. I mean, I can't imagine that in America they're like, America, fuck yeah, Xbox, Microsoft, yeah, you know. So,
Mm.
but here it's like mostly I think Nintendo and PlayStation oriented. So
Yeah, I mean, I think here it's actually a more even split than you think.
I don't know a lot of people that have an Xbox. I know a lot of people that have a Switch or a PS5 or a PS4. Like
Mm.
here, if you have an Xbox, you're like a loner.
The heck? Oh, okay, so like I was looking it up and seeing if they still have Xboxes. They don't have Series X,
But they
obviously.
have S.
Um, they have the S for like 990 9 2 oh, 9 229
Yeah.
292. Oh my gosh, I can't read.
I walked into a Media Markt
Um,
last week and there were like maybe 10 Series S's just lying there.
yeah, which makes sense because it's a cheaper one and people just want the fancy one.
Yeah, but we have a colleague
But
at
here's
work. He bought one off
yeah,
of Marktplaats, so it's Craigslist,
yeah.
and he got Game Pass for it. And he's like, I bought it for cheap and I got Game Pass, but I just don't like playing on an Xbox, so I'm not using it. It was an impulse buy, and I wanted to get into the whole Xbox Game Pass and see what the hype's about, but I just don't like it. I'm a PlayStation gamer. I'm like, I think that's a problem with a
Why
lot of
did you
people.
do that? Oh, that's
That's why
funny.
I don't. But I've also been thinking sometimes, like, should I get a Series X? And I'm like, no, because I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna buy it, and it's gonna gather dust.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it might, but the only reason I would get like a Series S is
Emulation.
because of well, kind of maybe that too, but mostly because of Game Pass.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, everybody's talking about Game Pass, and we've talked about this in a previous episode. Like,
Yeah,
everybody's pretending like Game Pass is the shit, but and we're gonna talk about it a little bit later. But Game Pass is actually bleeding subscribers at the moment because you know.
but you know the reason why it's bleeding subscribers, at least what the excuse that people are giving.
Tell me.
Well, the people are saying like, well, Microsoft doesn't have a lot of exclusives, so what's the point of Game Pass? for now.
And that's what we talked about last time. Like I brought up the example of smart delivery, where it was this very big marketing scheme, and people were like, "Oh, smart delivery! Oh!" And that's the same with Game Pass. Like every game Microsoft announces from their own studios is comes out day and date on Xbox Game Pass, but first off, they don't have a lot of games, so it just sounds even more impressive when they say it comes out day and date because PlayStation doesn't do it. And secondly, the stuff gets delayed a lot. Like Starfield, it got delayed. Redfall,
Yeah.
it got delayed. I don't think anybody's excited for Redfall because it basically looks like Fortnite with vampires. But
Well,
like
people are really up in arms about Redfall being delayed, and it's like, but they
this,
haven't
they
shown
just saw
any
the
gameplay.
CG
Why are you
trailer.
pissed
Yeah,
that it's being delayed?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think
People,
people are more excited for Fable 4.
yeah, but that is not coming out anytime
Nope.
soon.
Nope.
Like, not
No,
even
but that's
close.
what I mean. Like Microsoft is very smart in playing this perception game, in coming up with things, and then if I tell you every day you're crazy, eventually you'll start to believe you're crazy. So like they're just doing the same. They're like screaming smart delivery, or they screamed smart delivery until Xbox Series X came out. And everybody was like, "Oh, smart delivery!" And now they're screaming Game Pass day and date, and everybody's like, "Oh, PS Plus sucks because it doesn't have day and date games." No, it doesn't. But it does have a killer lineup of exclusive games.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. But here's the thing with subscriptions: subscribers will like it'll go up, it'll go
yeah,
down. Like
yeah.
it is not like a you can't have infinite growth with
Nope,
subscription
nope.
services. That's
Eventually,
just how it is.
it will level out, and then you just have to make sure that the content is coming up and get a good supply so people stay subscribed. I canceled my Game Pass
Exactly.
last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just not using it because the Microsoft games just don't appeal to me. And the Guardians of the
Hmm.
Galaxy was on it, and I tried to play it on my PC with my Xbox controller, but I had to keep looking at my controller for the controls because I don't know the Xbox controls by heart. Plus, I have to play it behind my monitor, and I'm like, yeah, but I also want trophies. So it's downside, downside,
I
downside.
also want
Yeah, so I'm
trophies.
like, and the best thing is it's coming to PlayStation Plus Extra or the new PlayStation Plus the day it launches. So I'm like, I'll just wait for it. I'll upgrade to PS Plus Extra and then I can play Guardians of the Galaxy with trophies.
Yeah.
And I don't have to look at my controller the whole time to make sure I press the wrong button. And I can play it on my big OLED TV. So that's like win win win.
Yeah. I don't know either. It's just I don't know. It's just super weird.
It is.
Um.
But back to the state of play because
Oh,
we've been going on
yeah,
tangent.
yeah. So the state of play.
They announced Resident Evil 4. They
Resident
announced
Evil 4,
Resident Evil Village for
Resident Evil
VR.
Village VR.
Yep,
Oh, also placed. Resident Evil 4 is also getting a VR
something.
um something.
Yeah,
We don't know what exactly.
yeah,
Probably just a VR mode.
yeah,
Um, Game looks good though.
yeah. It
Really
looks
good.
really good.
They showed another PlayStation VR game called The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2.
It basically looks like Dying Light, but with guns and chainsaws.
It's not really pretty.
No, no.
Another one is No Man's Sky is getting a PSVR 2 version,
Yeah, because it already has a PSVR version now, and it's again,
which makes all the sense of the world.
yeah, and um, yeah, Horizon Call of the
Call
West,
of the Mountain,
Call of the West, Call of the Mountain.
Call
Yeah,
of the Mountain,
yeah.
Call of the West.
Yeah, and also Forbidden West got a update that added new game plus, an ultra hard
Hmm.
difficulty mode, new end game content as well, so like new outfits and a lot of quality of life improvements. I haven't tried it out
Yeah,
yet, but
which probably means it's gonna get a Game of the Year edition like they did with the first game. So,
I think they're gonna announce an
or at least like a
expansion.
deluxe version or
Yeah, or they'll
something.
probably
Yeah.
do like an expansion like Frozen Wilds for Horizon Zero Dawn at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Stray finally got a release date.
it did. It did.
It's coming in July, and it's coming to PlayStation, the new PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
um, day and date. It's July 19th. I'm so happy because like I've been waiting for this game for such a long time. I want to be a cat.
Buy a cat.
Why a cat? Why not?
Yeah,
Marvel Spider-Man is coming to PC,
yeah.
the remastered version.
And there are rumors going
Um,
around that Sackboy and Returnal are coming to PC.
oh, that makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
Returnal, especially Sackboy. Yeah, sure. I mean, they have it lying around. They might as well. Um, Skate park. Oh, Roller Dome by the same by the Ollie Ollie the Ollie Ollie guys is being made. It's like this futuristic bloodsport
It
game,
looked pretty
which
cool.
looks really. Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, right? Because I know the Ollie Ollie developers are like really good at what they do. So when I saw it, I was like, oh wait, this develop? Oh, they're making a
Yeah,
skating game, and
yeah.
it's like it looks like roller derby but on deaf. That's really cool. Then there was this thing called the Callisto Protocol, which looks a lot like Dead Space.
Yeah, I think it's made by developers that worked on Dead Space.
I would not be surprised if that's the case. It's being done by a small new studio that I've never heard of, called what are they called? Striking Distance Studio. Never heard of them. This might actually be their first game. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it looks like Dead Space, but on like a prison in a prison facility.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually am looking forward to it. I'm not very big into the horror stuff, but it actually looks pretty cool.
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Then we have Season: A Letter to the Future,
that had a really
which
cool art
is
style.
that had a really has a really cool art style. It's a game that they showed off
I think last year.
in a state of play last year. So this is did this give us a date? I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
No, they didn't give us a date. It's just a new trailer with more stuff. It's coming this fall to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4.
Nice,
So no date, just a launch window.
nice.
And Tunic is coming to PlayStation later this year, which is like okay.
But it's basically
I
like
was
Zelda, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was already out on Xbox. I think it was even like a day and date on
Switch.
Game Pass.
So is it another way available on
It's
Switch?
not on Switch. It's not.
I am
No,
actually
it was
surprised.
it was an Xbox exclusive. Yeah, that was the weird part.
Wow.
Um, so I guess it was a timed exclusive because it's coming September 27th to PlayStation. I hope it comes to Switch because it would be perfect. And then the last one was a dating sim meets action adventure. No, that's not the last thing. A dating sim meets action adventure called Etern Nights, which looked very anime.
I was
Um,
when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is JRPG or something in that vein.
it's an action adventure with
Hmm.
dating sim mechanics. And then finally, Street Fighter 6.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
it looks like it has this story mode or like this open world kind of thing in it.
With a created characters, like what the
Yeah,
heck?
it looks pretty cool.
It looks really cool.
Yeah,
And then finally, Final Fantasy 16. And then it's like summer 2023. I'm like,
yeah, I'm not excited for that.
I'm sorry, but I am very
I
excited
can
because it
imagine.
looks so good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
But
It's
that's
so
probably the
pretty.
PS5 version, so you'll have to buy PS5 to play it that pretty.
I think it's only coming to PlayStation 5, right? Yeah, it's only PlayStation 5. I don't know if it's coming to Xbox as well, but I'm only on the blog, so it's only saying, "Oh, PS5." I'm like,
Yeah.
Um, so it maybe it's either PlayStation 5 exclusive or it's next gen only, so PlayStation 5 or current gen, PlayStation 5 and Xbox
Yeah,
series. But it looks really good. It is really pretty.
it does.
Yeah. Uh, Other than that, I think that's it for the state of play.
Yeah. There were
Um,
rumors going around that it was going to have something completely different, like the Last of Us remake and a teaser for the factions mode and a God of War trailer with a date. And I'm like, yeah, they'll probably want to save that for their September showcase because usually Sony does, at least the last 2 years, Sony did like this September showcase where they did like an hour and a half, and where they showed off a lot of stuff. Like last year, they did Wolverine and Spider-Man 2, and like that's when they go all out. So they'll probably save something for then, or maybe they'll even do something during the Summer Games Fest, or maybe Gamescom's opening night live thingy.
Hmm.
So
Who knows?
yeah,
But um, before we know who knows, we're gonna take a really quick break, and we'll be right back with more news because there is some more news to talk about. So stick around, and we'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with more news. We just left with the state of play. But you know what's not a state of play?
no.
EA.
Oh yes, EA.
EA. There's a lot going on at EA.
Yeah,
I mean, let's start off with them and the biggest news of the year with EA: their breakup with FIFA.
they have broken up. Yeah, after 30 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think so this year you will still get a game called FIFA, but starting next year the name will
You'll get
be
EA Sports FC.
so yeah, something like that. Like
Is it right? I'm saying it right. EA Sports FC. Yeah.
I have no idea. But I think what they're going to do is, from what I understood, is that they're going to talk to a lot of um, clubs individually and license it from them. And there's also this association that represents the football players, so that they're going to make deals with the association so that they can get the likeliness and the names of the players. So basically, they're just sidelining the FIFA organization and saying like, okay, but we don't care about your name. We'll still get the licensing for the players and the clubs and the teams just by talking to them directly. So they're basically cutting out the middleman,
Yeah.
which is actually a very smart move. So
Well, considering that because it came out, stuff got leaked.
months
Like
ago,
they had to pay like a whole lot, and they also had like their own demands. Like, I think FIFA was like they didn't want anything to do with like NFTs
microtransactions
and
and
stuff,
NFTs and loot
microtransactions, stuff like that.
boxes. Yeah.
But then at the same time, they want more money. It's like, well, where the frick is the more money gonna come from?
Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
And then there was another thing that popped up. Apparently, EA has been shopping itself around, hoping to get acquired by other companies. And some of the parties they spoke to were Amazon, Disney, NBC Universal, Apple, but also Microsoft, Sony, and some other game related developers and publishers. Apparently, they got to pretty far talks with NBC Universal, but the deal hit a wall when they talked about pricing. They wanted more for shares and they couldn't agree on a pricing scheme. The idea was that Andrew Wilson would still stay on as CEO, but yeah, knowing how these things go, it could still be in the cards that they get bought up by something like a consortium or like I don't know, Chinese investors, because Tencent might maybe want to buy EA or the Embracer Group or like
no,
I
please
think
not
a lot of
Tencent.
people will be pushing for Sony to buy them, but I don't think. I don't.
Sony doesn't have the capital to buy EA.
Besides, I mean, they'll probably go get a loan or something, but like the company is not a fit for what Sony does. So like
Yeah,
EA
not
is
really.
too it's 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 too money oriented, whereas Sony is like we just make
It's
good
not even. It's not even that. I mean,
it just doesn't fit.
like if we look at like their portfolio, right? EA,
Yeah.
like what do they have? They have the EA Sports brand, right, which is all licensed stuff,
Yep. They have
like all of
Battlefield.
except for I mean, even the new EA Sports FC is still a licensed game.
Yep.
It's just it doesn't have the FIFA brand.
Yeah.
They still have to license all the players, all the sports teams, all the events, all the cups. They literally have to license everything. The KNVB,
Yeah.
like sure. Then you have, of course, their the regular games, their mobile games. I mean, the mobile games, yeah, sure, whatever.
But
But
they do
like
bring in a lot of money, the mobile games.
they bring in a lot of money, and I think that's part of the reason why they haven't seen significant losses
Yeah.
because Battlefield 2042 ain't it.
Yeah, but the
Let me
funny thing
tell you.
about that is that um They are committed to Battlefield 2042 because just the other day there was this developer diary update in which they talked about because the first season of
You mean
Battlefield.
the yeah? You mean the what did they call it again? The roadmap for season two.
No, no. So this was like a 15-minute video where they're talking about season one is starting next month, and they're
Hmm.
talking about the pillars that they're going to focus on. So it will be around game modes and experience. It will be around new content. It will be around
Fixing the game.
around performance, and it will be around the maps. So they said, like, for example, there were two maps. They said that, like, we're completely revamping those maps. So they've changed the structure of the maps. They've added a lot of stuff to the maps, like uh, forward operating bases, emplacements, so more cover, more ways to diversify the map, basically to break a chokehold in the map. They're also stepping away from the 128 player modes. They're saying, like,
To
we're
64.
still doing it, but our main focus will be 64 because I think that's the sweet spot, or a lot of people just prefer them. Like, I rarely played the 128 because it felt too chaotic, and I think it has to do with the map design. So I always played 64, but they're also adding.
That's part of it. Yeah, the map design.
Yeah,
People were not driving on the
yeah, because
128
you could,
size. It's
like,
just
get shot from all sides. It
yeah.
was too chaotic, and then
Or you would walk around the whole time and like not find a single soul.
yeah, and then get sniped out of the blue, which happens a lot. That's why people hate Battlefield. Because, but that's the funny thing around Battlefield. Like, people, and it sounds stupid, but people don't know how to play Battlefield. Battlefield is not a game where you lone wolf it, or where you just do your own thing. You have to stick with your squad, and you have to have a game plan. And basically the game plan is always go for the flags. But, like, often happens is that a person comes off of Call of Duty and they're like, oh, I'm a lone wolf for Call of Duty. I can massacre a whole team. And then they go into this massive world of Battlefield because the maps are huge compared to Call of Duty. And they're like, oh,
Mm.
this sucks. I walked around for 5 minutes. I didn't see anybody. And then I got snapped. And, like, yeah, that's basically how it works if you play this Call of Duty style. It doesn't work that way. It's not made for it. It is far more tactical. You need to stick with your team and you need to have a game plan. If you do that, the game really shines. And I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, but I don't want to. Well, then you can just piss off back to Call of Duty because I heard Vanguard's really great. Not. So good luck with that. But they are committed to doing a lot of stuff around Battlefield. They're even improving animation. So, like, they're fixing
Mm.
animations in the way that, for example, if your character is turning, then just his torso turns instead of his whole character turning. So that's like a little detail that makes it pretty cool because then you're like, whoa, this looks immersive. And they're changing run animations. They're changing the looks of their specialists so that they look more weathered, that fits into the style. So, like, they're doing a lot of stuff. It gets me excited as a Battlefield player.
Well, I
Um,
hope that people stick around for it because
yeah,
it doesn't seem like people are.
yeah, and I think the problem is that Modern Warfare 2 is coming out October 28th. I think they're
Hmm.
doing a reveal next week. So
Yep,
they're in a
sounds about right.
jam because, like, people are already looking forward to Modern Warfare, and Battlefield at the moment is a lesser broken game, but it's still a broken game. So, like, there's no specific audience to cater to unless it's the Battlefield audience. But then you need to find ways to keep these players engaged because otherwise everybody's gonna jump ship to Modern Warfare 2. Like, I'm gonna buy Modern Warfare 2 because I played with the whole group and I loved the 2019 Modern Warfare reboot. And this one's probably gonna be the same. This one's, I think, based in Latin America, but they're saying Mexico with the drug cartels. I honestly don't care, man. I just want the multiplayer. And they're also doing Warzone 2, so just bring it.
Hmm. We'll see how that actually
Yeah.
unfolds this fall.
It's still getting an exclusive. At least the rumors suggest that it's still getting an exclusive beta on PlayStation, even though it is soon to be Microsoft owned.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm assuming the sale will go through,
There are ramblings
but
that there are some organizations or authorities that are looking very closely at the deal, and it might still fall through because there is the possibility of Microsoft getting in this monopolistic position, even though there is enough competition in the games market. There are talks about that. So
mm, I mean, yeah, might there might be, but it also might be that Bobby Kotick gets sued into the gosh darn ground finally.
that's your personal
Because
thing. You want him to
that's
get
my
so.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, but he is being sued
I know.
like
Yeah.
by by a group in New York,
Hmm.
because a lot of like it's this like retirement fund that has like stock in Activision Blizzard,
Hmm.
and they're not having it because it's being sold at a lower cost. And now like the cost, the price for the shares for Activision Blizzard was like way higher, and they're selling it for way lower than it was before. So they're like, this is not what we signed up for. So we'll see how that pans out. And New York tends to be very hard when it comes to like lawsuits,
Yeah,
especially their prosecutors. So we'll see. Because if that one goes through, then that might actually stop the sale entirely.
yeah.
Or at the very least, it's gonna harm the sale even more for Activision, and hopefully finally get rid of Bobby Kotick. But that's my personal
That's your personal opinion on that. Yeah.
take. Outside of that, uh, what else did we have to talk about?
The EA celebration was held. Star Wars celebration was held last week,
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah,
they announced Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and
Survivor.
it's coming out next year. It looks like they just showed off a CG trailer. It has a far darker, grittier tone. Um, I've played the first one and I loved it. It's like a Dark Soulsy meets Uncharted kind of game.
Mm,
It makes sense because the game director did God of War 3, so and it's done by Respawn. It's coming to current gen consoles, so no PS4 but PS5, and it's coming out next year. There's not a lot of details. It's a very vague, mysterious, dark trailer. It looks really cool, but they haven't talked a
mm.
lot about it. They haven't mentioned any other Star Wars games, even though there are multiple in development all over the games industry. Um, so that was announced, and then I think Gotham Knights had some updates around that they canceled the last gen version, so it's only
Yeah,
next gen, current gen, whatever you want to call it.
you mean after they announced that it was delayed, right?
Yeah, so last year they announced it was delayed, and then this year they announced a release date. I think it's coming out in October, and
Mm,
then shortly thereafter they dropped the bomb and said like we're dropping the PS4, the Xbox One versions simply because of we want to be able to deliver the best kind of game and focus, and to be able to do that we need to drop some platforms. So we will
yeah.
offer the best possible experience on Series X, S, and PS5 and PC, I
What
think.
did what did you think of the gameplay reveal, by the way?
I only saw the reveal like years ago when it was initially announced, and it gave me a lot of
Oh, so you haven't seen the gameplay like reveal that they did like a couple of weeks ago?
no. So at the
Yeah.
time, it got me excited because I was like, "Hey, this looks really cool." But I thought it had co-op in it, but I don't think it has co-op in it.
It has co-op, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
think they said it had no co-op, or was it
It had,
something
well,
else?
what I saw in the gameplay was co-op, so yeah. It has co-op. The gameplay, I don't know. That's why I kind of wanted to ask your opinion about it, like if you saw it. Uh, It looks fine. Um,
It just
I don't know
looks
what to
like
think
a
of it.
Arkham game.
Yeah, but not as it doesn't like the gameplay didn't look as snappy. Like the combat didn't look as snappy. But
Uh,
to be fair, they like the gameplay they showed was Red Hood and Nightwing. They're not Batman.
yeah,
So I guess it's gonna feel the combat flow is gonna feel different. It's like with Nightwing, it's more acrobatics. Um and with Red Hood, it's more he really like he uses guns.
yeah,
So he's more of a ranged character.
yeah. And then
Even though
there's
he does get up
Batgirl.
close and personal.
Yeah,
They didn't show Batgirl. They didn't show Robin.
yeah. But they'll probably have more
So
like the Batman kind of brawler style, probably.
yeah, I think we'll see more.
Maybe Summer Games
Hopefully
Fest.
this week.
Yeah,
Hopefully this week with Summer Games Fest. I don't know.
yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah. People weren't also really hot on the gameplay reveal, to be honest.
yeah.
It was
I think
the other than that, the game looks really pretty.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I liked Arkham Knight, but I didn't like some parts of it. So I've never gone back and played it again. I just finished it back when it came out, and then I never touched it again.
Mm.
And I don't know if I ever would.
I
But
still need to play Arkham Knight
Arkham Knight
Special.
is pretty cool. But like for example, the way the Batmobile handles is horrible. Like that's one of the parts I really hated about the game, and also because the Batmobile wasn't optional in some missions. You have to use the Batmobile, and if the handling sucks, you just keep on dying and dying and dying, and then you're like, yeah, well, this is really taking the fun out of
Hmm.
it. Yeah,
I wonder if it's as bad as Disaster Day of Crisis. Wow, that had some really bad controls.
I don't know.
Driving controls. It was a Wii game.
Yeah,
You don't have to. You don't have to think about
didn't
it.
have a Wii, don't want one.
What
Yeah,
else?
the last part was Game Pass is bleeding subscribers or losing
No,
subscribers.
no, no. There was one more thing.
Yeah.
Square Enix
Oh right. Yes.
selling off its Western branch.
Yeah. They
So the Eidos Montreal stuff, the Eidos and
Crystal
Crystal Dynamics, and
Dynamics. Yeah.
all the IPs that are related to those studios
Yeah. And they're going to invest
to
all that.
Embracer.
Yeah, and they're going to invest. I think it's like a $300 million deal, and they're going to invest that into blockchain and NFT.
That makes me so depressing. That is so depressing.
Honestly,
Which like it deflates the whole thing of, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is coming out. We're probably gonna see more about Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2.
yeah, next month they
But
said.
then this stuff happens and they talk about NFTs and blockchain, and I'm like, oh gosh darn it, Square Enix, what the hell are you doing?
But I think seriously because I heard the other day that the NFT market has had a crash, kind of like crypto had a
Oh,
couple
it
years
crashed
ago.
hard.
Which is
It's not even done.
yeah, but like basically it's I'm not surprised because let's be honest, crypto, NFTs, blockchain, whatever, that whole market is, in my opinion, too volatile and too sensitive to human emotion. Because if I have a shitload of bitcoins and I want to sell them because I just want to cash out, so if I suddenly sell all my bitcoins, then the whole market freaks out because they're thinking something's happening, and then
Mm-hmm.
everybody starts to sell, and then suddenly the coin takes a dive, or like all coins take a dive. And I'm like, yeah, but I just wanted to step out of the game and sell all my money. There's no ulterior evil motive. But then suddenly the whole crypto market panics. And like with NFTs, it's also pretty fraud sensitive from what I understood. So
Mm-hmm.
it feels like Square Enix is just, or it looks like it, that they're like, they have no idea what to do. So that they're basically like, we need to find a future market, and it's not we're looking for the next microtransactions thing,
Yeah.
and we don't know what that is. And we think it's something blockchain related or NFT related. So let's put all our money into that and hope that our gamble pays off. Whereas the answer is pretty simple. Just keep making good games as you did, and when the next thing comes up, try to come up with your unique way of doing that instead of
Exactly.
selling off your Western studios, because Crystal Dynamics is a great studio. Eidos has
Mm-hmm.
great games. So like uh, at this point, I'm literally
Marv
just hoping.
Marvel Avengers notwithstanding.
Yeah, well, Guardians of the Galaxy is great, but like I
Yeah, which really sucks. So now it's gonna be like, well, what's gonna happen with that, right?
yeah, I don't
Because
know.
that's definitely not getting a sequel now.
You don't know. But like at this
Oh
point,
yeah, because Embracer. Yeah, because really think about it. Because when they decide when the news came out that they were gonna sell it for 300 million,
yeah.
like right before that, something else got sold for like way more. I don't remember. I think it's another thing got bought. Another company got bought. I don't remember what it was.
By Embracer.
No, not by Embracer. Another game industry sale happened recently,
I don't know.
right before that sale happened. I don't remember which one it was, but it was for like way more.
Mhm.
And it's like, so Embracer just bought these guys for 300 million.
Which is a
Oh,
steal.
right. It was no, people were comparing it to the sale of Bungie to PlayStation,
Yeah.
which is like a way, like it's one studio
hmm
and they bought them for what? How many billion? 8?
3.6 or something like
Three
that.
something billion?
Yeah.
Billion with a B?
Yeah, but I think
And this is like
it's different because
they bought them like Embracer bought them for a steal.
yeah, but I think in Bungie's case it's simple. Bungie has a lot of experience around shooters, around live services. They have existing live services that probably bring in a lot of money. So like that brings some value with it. Because let's be honest, PlayStation doesn't have a great FPS game. That's one thing they've never been able to do. Because all the games they did, they were good, but they weren't Halo level. And now
Yeah.
I think they're like, okay, we maybe want to be able to use that expertise to come up with our Modern Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield equivalent, and then have it be a live service. So it constantly brings in, and it's not going to be it's not going to be Destiny. It's going to be something new, you know. So I think like
Yeah.
the expertise you buy with that comes with a price tag, and also the infrastructure they bring with thing. But yeah, I mean, I can see Embracer doing a Guardians of the Galaxy sequel because Guardians of the Galaxy did well, you know,
Yeah.
so I can see them doing that. But at this point, honestly, I just hope Square Enix gets bought. I really hope Sony steps in and says, we're going to buy you all. We're going to kind of like give you some guidance on which way this ship is going to sail. Because basically, at this point, it feels like you're trying to sail into any direction as long as it brings you money. And it could mean that these great Japanese companies eventually just going to find their own demise because they're going to be like a victim of their own success.
Yeah. I don't know. It is very depressing.
It is
That's
very
just
depressing.
that's
And I don't know if that's like
which is weird because they do have really cool games coming out.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. I don't know if that's the general Japanese thing. That like Japanese companies just don't know how to westernize or don't know how to go with the trends because you
But
see
they
it with
don't need. That's
you
the
see it
thing
with
with
Konami
that.
as well, you know, and you see it with Capcom has been
Well,
able to
Konami is a thing apart. They're just stupid.
no, no, but
Um,
but let's be honest. It's like another Japanese company that doesn't know what to do, and yet they do pachinko and mobile stuff. But like their core business games, it's not what it was. And I mean, Capcom has found ways to turn it around, but like it's
even that is less of what it used to be.
exactly. So it looks like that Japanese publishers or developers are kind of struggling to find a way to kind of like compete on the world stage of gaming, and it's more like a hit and a miss. So like they'll bring out a game like s- uh, Babylon's Fall. Like that game just sucks. Like
Yeah,
why
that
would
was
they
not
bring that
good.
out? Like
I, don't,
tell me why, you know?
I don't know. And that has a roadmap too, by the way.
I know, but like that is
It's
just
like
like
who? No, but almost nobody's playing it. It's
nobody
like
cares.
okay,
Yeah, and that's like a huge money loss you have to write off, you know?
yeah, which is ironic because it's a free to play game.
Is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was a paid game.
I
It's a
think it is.
no, it's
I
a
think it
60
is at least.
bucks game.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was free to play.
No. You played the demo, I think.
I've never played the demo. Is there a demo? I
Oh, you
don't think
played the
so.
Strangers of Paradise thing.
Yeah, that's something else. That one is a $60 game.
The
Um,
Babylon's Fall is also a $60 game as far as I know.
I have no idea. I thought it was free to play.
No, I don't think so. Especially Square going free to play? No.
Oh, of course they would.
No.
Yeah, yeah, they would. If they could charge you an arm and a leg for the stuff. Oh no, it's yeah, you're right. Buy
Yep.
now.
But yeah, it's let's hope that they don't meet their untimely demise by making they're putting all their bets on the crypto blockchain or NFTs because it will not be good. It will not end well for them.
Yeah.
And then what will happen is they'll go bankrupt, and then people will swoop in and buy the Final Fantasy IP for cents on the dollars. And then, if we're really lucky, it'll be this capitalistic company that wants to squeeze out every dime out of that IP, and they'll literally destroy Final Fantasy as an IP because they'll just create mediocre games, and then we'll say like there once was a JRPG franchise called Final Fantasy. It was amazing, but due to bad decisions, it has literally become less valuable than a bag of turds.
You're really looking forward to that, aren't you?
No, I don't, but like I can see how it's going to play out, and it's unfortunate, you know?
Oh my. Okay, yeah. Did we have any other news left?
No. I think I've ended it
Okay.
on a very grim note for you, so we should probably move on to
Hmm.
the next one. It's okay if
All
you want to take
right.
a few minutes to cry and grab a tissue.
Right. Anyways, stick around. We'll be right back with what we've been playing. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment of Game Rebels, which is, of course, what we've been playing. Sean Templar, what have you been playing?
I haven't playing a lot, but I played. I bought Republic Commando, Star Wars Republic Commando, in the sale like a while back. It was
Oh, okay.
750, and because they made a remaster, and I always heard that it was like a really great game because at the time it was, I think, like an Xbox exclusive, and now it's available on everything. Um, it's a fun game. It hasn't aged well, so you can really feel that. Um, yeah, the controls are like a bit weird compared to modern FPS, but it had like a cool story because basically you play as the squad leader of some clone commandos, and then you have three clone commandos under your command. You can give them various orders. There are three levels that consist of like multiple parts. So once you start out in Geonosis during the Attack of the Clones part of the movies, and then you complete missions on Geonosis. Then there's a second mission which is on this Star Destroyer like ship that's gone lost, and suddenly you find it, and then you have to uncover this plot that's going on. And then the third mission is on Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet. I think it took me like a couple of like a good couple of hours to finish the game, so it's not like something you just breeze through. And I played it on hard to get as many trophies as I could. Um, yeah, it was pretty challenging at sometimes, but it was a fun game. I can understand the appeal. I was contemplating even if I buy it on the Switch or on the PS4 because it was the same price. But I thought like I want the trophy, so I bought them on the PS4 and then played it on my PS5. Well, it was a fun game. I don't know if I would recommend it to everyone because it doesn't look as pretty, so you have to be able to look past it. But besides that, it was a pretty fun game. And then I downloaded Star Wars Squadrons. I think I got it like for free with PS Plus a couple of years ago, and
Mhm.
that's a really fun game. It's a really really cool game. It's basically you play as a fighter for the a pilot for the rebellion and as well for the Empire. So it's missions that alternate. Um, and then you're basically in an X-wing or a Tie fighter completing missions. It has really nice, smooth controls. It looks pretty. It's made by Motive, which I don't know if they still exist. I think so. I think they do. I think just that Jade Raymond went away. But it's made by Motive. It looks really cool. It flies really well. I know that there's VR support for it. It might support flight sticks, but I'm just playing it with the controller. Um, yeah, it's a really fun game. I didn't expect it, and it's like I just fired it on, play some missions, then or one mission, and I just turn it off. I'm not really in the mood to play games right now, so I'm just mostly watching TV shows or YouTubing a lot. I played a little bit of Cyberpunk on the PS5. It was cool. I played the game that was included in PS Plus this past month, the Viking game, something like blah 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 Midgard. It kind of reminds me of Valheim, but then in a cooler art style. Basically, you have your village, and there's like this tree. It might be Yggdrasil from Norse mythology, and then you have to defend your tree from mythological attackers like giants and evil creatures. But at the same time, you have to farm resources so you can craft weapons and upgraded gear and stuff like that. Um, it's pretty cool. I think you can co-op it with other people. I played like maybe an hour or something of it. It looked really cool. Played really nice. I was thinking about buying Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, I think it's called, but it's on sale. But like it's 12 euros.
I heard good things about that.
Yeah, I heard it as well, but like it was 12 euros cheaper. But I'm like, yeah, that's not cheap enough for me to convince me to buy it right now. So I didn't buy that one. I'm actually waiting for the PS Plus Extra to launch because they've updated the list of games that is coming to Extra. So
Hmm.
Demon Souls is going to be part of it, which I want to play. Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut is going to be part of it, which I want to play because I only played Ghost of Tsushima. I never played the Iki Island expansion, so I want to play Iki Island. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be part of it. So like there are already a couple of games. I'm like, I want to play that. So I think it launches at the end of June for us. So I'm really waiting for that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
yeah, that's what I've been
Oh, we
waiting
didn't
for.
talk about it, but during the news, but yeah, the premium stuff like this, the
Hmm.
classics games, the emulation is not really that great on it, which is the part that I really was looking forward to. So I'm just gonna hold off. I'm just gonna keep PlayStation Plus Essentials for now
Yeah,
because yeah,
I can understand that.
extra, yeah, I mean, extra is great and all, but for me, it's like I want to see what kind of classic games they end up adding to it.
I can understand
Yeah, they need to make it worthwhile. That's all I'm saying.
that.
Anything else you played?
No, no, no. As I said, I'm just mostly playing or watching TV shows. So I'm not really um, what you call it. Um, Playing anything. Or I turn on my PlayStation and like after 5 minutes I'm like meh, and I turn it off again. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I haven't played a lot either because I was on vacation, which was nice.
Did you bring your Switch along?
Um, I did. I barely touched it.
Okay.
I'm not even no because I was out and about doing stuff, going out, like visiting family, like chilling, going to like a swimming pool, going out to eat, visiting friends, and yeah, just doing stuff. So I barely had any time to play anything. I played some Monster Hunter,
Oh, nice.
a little bit here and there, Monster Hunter Rise, because Sunbreak got its big reveal, and oh my gosh, it looks so good! Like I'm so excited. I actually played some. I actually was like, you know what? Since it's coming out at the end of June, I'm dedicating the whole month to Monster Hunter Rise on my Twitch. So
Nice.
so that's like the first thing I played for this month. I played a little bit of Elden Ring when I got back,
Okay.
also on stream, which was fun. I had to like get used to the controls again. It was like, oh wait, how do I play this again? What am I supposed to do again? Oh yeah, okay. So I played a little bit of that, and I played a little bit of the Mario Strikers Battle League demo.
And how is that?
My goodness, now I remember why I sucked because the game gets surprisingly complicated. Whoever says like the game is simple, smack them for me, will you? Because it's not. And I had the same thing with Mario Strikers Charged on Wii, which was like the controls are simple, but then you get to the advanced technique, and it's like, oh my gosh, you have to do like a bunch of things, and you have to pay attention to a bunch of things. So I mean, they're doing the online demo this past weekend. If you're listening to this, it's already over. The game is coming out this week, anyways, or next week, or something like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up day. I want to pick it up day and date because I wanna I want to create a football club because you can do that.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, and you can have up to 20 people be in your football club. So I want to do that and just have a football club and like once a week come together and play matches. So
Is
that
that
would be
like
really
with
cool.
real people or like
Yeah,
people?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's an online thing.
Okay, nice.
So that's really cool. You can like make your own jerseys for home and away. You can make your own like football club emblem.
Is the demo still
You,
available?
yeah, the demo's still available. Like you can download it, but the if you want to play online, it's at certain times.
Okay.
And but outside of that, you can play the tutorial. Even if it's not live, you can still play the tutorial and just get a feel of how the game feels and how the game looks. Game is also really pretty.
Maybe I'll try it on my Switch.
Yeah, dust it off.
Yeah, exactly.
And I picked up Spelunky too
Oh,
because
nice.
it was on game trial on Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay.
And yeah, and whenever they do that, they put it on discount. It was like 12 euros. I was like, okay.
Oh, nice.
So when the game trial was over, I was like, well, I still want to play. So I bought it. Oh my goodness, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. And that's it. That yeah, that's all I've played.
Nice. Well, it's not a lot, but yeah.
Now I'll get back into it now that I'm back. I'm just ramping up, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything coming out. Like the only thing that's coming out that I'm looking forward to is like Saints Row, which is coming out in August, I think.
Ooh, did you see the previews on that one?
No.
Oh, wow. Apparently it's not great.
Yeah, but
It's very samey and not very inspired. That's what the previews are saying, at least.
okay. I don't know. I mean, like I'll wait for the reviews, and based on that, I'll make my decision.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, they delayed it for a really long time, so I hope they can actually polish the crap out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's enough polish in the world to save it from what it is. So
I don't know if it's in the state that it is according to the previews then because they changed directions because the fan response wasn't as positive because maybe
yeah,
their original vision was just good but because they were feeling the pressure because like I've said it often everybody is doesn't want to be the next cyberpunk and like I think cyberpunk it left a mark in the way that like a lot of developers are more focused on what the player wants but that's not always
mm,
good. Sometimes you just need to stick to your original vision and say like it's super cool what you want and we respect your feedback and we listen to it but we still have a vision for this game that we're going to follow through on and it's up to you
mm,
if you want to be a part of this vision or not because it's the same with Battlefield. Like a lot of people were complaining about the specialist, and I'm like, well, I can understand that, but for the other side, like I like it that they've changed it up by adding specialists because it changes up the combat a little bit. It innovates in that regard instead of just saying, well, yeah, we have the same classes: the medic, the sniper, the assault, and the engineer, and yeah, that's it, you know. But yeah, that's how I look at things.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, will you do us the honors?
I will try as soon as I hit Battlefield 2042 download because I downloaded it and then I removed it. And all this talk about Battlefield has got me in the mood to play some Battlefield. So I'm just trying to download it through the PS app on my phone, but it's like really slow and it's not showing me the game. And I'm like, damn it, show me the game. I want to download it. I want to initiate the
Show me
download.
the game.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Battlefield. Can I just say that the search on the PlayStation app on the phone is like really bad? Like if even if you
Oh yeah,
type in the exact title, it will not show you the
it's
game.
not
It will
great.
show you like
No.
all sorts of other stuff. Like even now it's you can't see it. It's not even loading or not even what you call it? It's not even showing me the game. Like it's basically doing nothing. And I'm like, "Hey, this app's pretty essential. Why can I not download the game that I want?" And then it gives me an error says it cannot load game. Well, you know what? I'll just do it on my PlayStation. So, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Game Rivals. It's good to be back after your break from for your holiday. You can find us on your favorite podcasting platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. Amazon, I don't know if we're on Amazon. Google
No, we're
Play.
still working on
Oh,
that one.
okay. Google Play, Overcast, Stitcher. Basically, wherever you're listening to this right now, we're there, and on all sorts of other platforms. We're on YouTube. You can find the link in the description of this episode. The video version goes live the same date and time. The audio version goes live. You can find us on Twitter, game underscore rivals underscore. You can find Maximilian on Twitter at Maximilian. You can email us gamerivals.feedback at gmail.com. Um, we're on Instagram at Game Rivals and at Maximilian underscore X. Maximilian streams a lot on Twitch. I don't, unfortunately, right now. So go check.
Please come back.
I will
They
try.
miss you.
Uh,
We miss you.
go check him out. Twitch.tv/Maximilian underscore X. Um, We're on TikTok at Game Rivals and at Maximilian_X. And I think that's it.
Hmm.
On that note, I have been and always will be Sean Templar,
And I've been, and always will be Maximilian X.
and we'll catch you on the battlefield.
Later.